the founder and the president of the Article 3 Project, former law clerk to Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. Mike Davis joins us. Mike, welcome in on a big day where the jury has the case against Trump. Good to have you in.
Thank you for having me. We're
going to talk about that in a second, but first off, just a little bit of reaction to what we're seeing. Jack Smith obviously tried to gag Trump, Eileen Cannon having none of it. The Mar-a-Lago raid with the FBI orders for deadly force, they don't want them to talk about that. Juan Merchan doesn't even want the lawyers to talk about facts when they're doing closing arguments. Everything's upside down. Your take on where we are today right now?
Yeah, so Jack Smith and Jay Bratt keep proving that they are partisan clowns, these Democrat Scud missiles launched at Trump to try to take him out. They can't even follow the most basic federal rules of criminal procedure, the local rules where you have to confer with the opposing party before you file a motion with a court. Every lawyer in America who does litigation knows that you need to do this. But Jack Smith and Jay Bratt think that they're above the law. And Judge Cannon did what was appropriate here. She struck their motion and told them if they want to refile it, you need to confer. I would have gone a step farther if I were Judge Cannon. I would have sanctioned Jack Smith and Jay Bratt. So they're lucky that she's shown restraint here with this pattern of malicious prosecution and not following the rules by Jack Smith and Jay Bratt, his little midget hitchman.
Well, it may still be on the table if they don't continue to, in her words, cooperate meaningfully. When we talk about the way things are operating and not operating in the way the law has, our justice system has in the past, a perfect example is right now where we are. Jury has the case, as you know. 12 people will decide Donald Trump's fate. But the instructions from Judge Juan Merchan, many say were just really the final icing on the cake here of how weaponized the system really has become, because and some of they don't have to be unanimous as how they come to the agreement. And that's because many say there is no crime here that they were able to actually put together to elevate this from a misdemeanor to a felony. And that really is a travesty here as we watch what's happening in a Manhattan courthouse right now today, Mike.
Yeah, this is a partisan, corrupt, and rigged process by these Biden Democrats. You have the Soros-funded Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, teaming up with this Biden senior political appointee, Matthew Colangelo, to bring these bogus charges 7 years too late for alleged bookkeeping violations, a bookkeeping misdemeanor for President Trump putting as a legal expense in his private books, not his business books, a settlement of a nuisance claim. Somehow that was a bookkeeping violation under the business rules. Somehow that bookkeeping violation from 2017 affected the 2016 election. And then they timed this bogus trial where they don't even tell President Trump what the legal allegations are so he can defend himself. You have this corrupt judge who made an illegal campaign contribution to Biden, got reprimanded by the New York court system for that. His adult daughter, Laura Merchan, is raising millions of dollars off of her father's unprecedented criminal trial.
Mike, you know the concern is if they can do it to a former president, what about the little guys? What about us regular Americans that don't have a bank account to go up against the government? That's really the larger concern here, too, if this is allowed to happen in our great nation. Your final thoughts on that piece of all of this, because it is not just about the president here. It is about the law.
That's exactly right. And the Biden Justice Department has proven that it's not just about Trump. They've not only gone after Trump, they've gone after his top aides like Peter Navarro, who's in prison right now, Steve Bannon, who they're sending to prison. His lawyers like Jeff Clark and John Eastman, they're going after January 6th supporters, grandmas who trespassed and took selfies. They're going after parents outraged by gender chaos and rapes in high school bathrooms. They're going after Christians praying outside of abortion clinics while they give amnesty to Biden, Hunter, James, BLM, Antifa, Hamas, abortion industry activists. President Trump needs to get back in that White House on November 5th, 2024, so this ends forever.
And, you know, folks, if you don't hear it and you don't know what's going on, well, Mike just said, just breaking today, the Department of Justice unit dedicated to preventing and responding to hate crimes was tracking, we've learned, the policy group Moms for Liberty. So there you have it. Everything Mike was just explaining, it's all there. It's happening in plain sight if you actually know where to look and listen. Pleased to have you in, as always. Article 3 Project, doing some great work, Mike. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Mike Davis, everybody. All right, we're going to